Hey guys, thanks for joining me. I just recently posted a pretty large solar ground mount project, a 30 panel solar ground mount that I bought from Signature Solar, and it was the ground mount was made by Chico USA. Pretty significant investment on my part. Well, you may not need something nearly as large. And in fact, probably about, I would say 4 years ago, I did a video with a DIY solar ground mount that I built from scratch. And its basic purpose was to run basically an 800 watt solar array, like 4 200 watt panels. And I primarily used it for testing purposes. Well, I built that rack primarily out of 2x4s, and despite my best efforts, it eventually succumbed to the carpenter bees, which pretty significantly weakened the structure, and I eventually just had to disassemble it a few months ago. So about 6 months ago, I started trying to find a replacement for that. And rather than just building another one out of 2x4s, I decided I would look and see what I could find online. And I found this little simple rack from EcoWorthy. This is their upgraded version. They make two different versions of this. One of them is like a small 4-panel design, and another one that's like an 8-panel design if you're using 200 watt panels. And so this smaller one, which is really all I need for test purposes, is going to be like, I think 140 bucks. It's super cheap, not sponsored. I did buy this with my own money. Let me just show you what comes with the smaller kit. So here's the smaller kit. We've got a little user guide there, assembly guide, and some mounting brackets, some extended rails, some feet, and yeah, some stuff like that. So it does come with seemingly all the hardware you would need. Over here in this bag, it assumes you're going to be connecting all of these little foot plates to concrete. So they give you concrete anchors. Well, I really want this rack to be easily movable. So I want to be able to align it to the sun. I want to move it to different spots whenever I want. And because like I said, it's for test purposes. So it needs to be fairly movable. Well, I spent nearly an additional 100 bucks, which is still getting me all in at under $250 on some materials to make a base. Let me show you what I'm doing here. So here's the mobile base that I'm working on right now. And I originally started with 3 of these 4x4x8s. So 2 of them on the long side, and then the third one cut in half to be like for the feet down here. And then once I sort of understood and went through the manual to see how these feet actually mount, I realized that my original plan wasn't quite going to work. And that is primarily because these feet here need to be able to mount in this direction. And that 4x4 isn't wide enough. So I considered maybe just, switching to 4x6s, but that would mean kind of wasting the money I'd already spent on these 4x4. So instead, I just got another 10-foot section of 4x4 and I cut it into thirds because there are 5 attachment points or 5 feet bases here. There are going to be 4 here on the corners, 1, 2, and then over here 3, 4, and then there's a little support foot in the back. That'll be what this one is for. So I decided to just go ahead and build it this way, spend another 10 bucks on another 4x4, and I'm in pretty good shape here, I think. So really all I have to do is finish securing these 3 4x4s on the top. This will actually get it up a little bit higher off the ground, which I like. And it's got a nice wide stance, and I've got the casters about as far out on the ends as I can get them to give it a little bit more stability in both directions. So let me go ahead and get started assembling this thing. So the first thing I got to do is measure out the distance for these guys here. And by the way, you can set this up at different angles. So you can go pretty shallow or you can go pretty steep on this if you want. So I'm going to set it up at about a 45 and per the instructions over there, which means I'm going to need most of that distance here. And that's kind of what I designed the base for. So let me go ahead and get started on the assembly, and I'll set up a time lapse and then we'll talk about it when it's all done. All right, there's the finished product. I think this little wooden base that I made has actually turned out quite nicely. This thing seems very solid, with the exception of the very ends. There's a little bit of deflection on the very ends of these rails. I feel like even though I followed the instruction manual pretty much to a T, they could have moved these out another 10 to 12 inches on either end. Because you have this center support piece right here, I think this would have been completely plenty solid. In fact, it'd probably be more solid. You wouldn't get the deflection that you get, the flex, out here on these the ends of the rails. But let's take a look at the dimensions here. So top to bottom, you've got basically 36 inches, and obviously the panel can overhang that top and bottom a pretty fair amount. Now what it can't overhang, obviously, is the width. So let's see how much width we've got. Call it 118 inches, so just shy of 10 feet wide. So whatever your panel dimensions are, account for the little mid clamps and the end clamps. And then, so however many of those you're going to use. You could easily fit 4 200-watt panels on here. I think if you went with 400-watt panels, you'd probably only get, maybe 2. You might get 3, depending on the particular orientation. But yeah, I'm real happy with, especially the wooden base, since I want this thing to be easy to move around. This moves around quite nicely, so I'm pretty happy with that. And the wheels do lock, since these are the same casters I used on my original DIY rack. So I think we're at the point where I can put some panels on here. Maybe I'll go ahead and roll it outside and mount some panels and see how secure it feels once I get some weight on there. And I do have a little bit of hardware left over. Obviously, I have the concrete anchors, since I didn't put these in concrete. There's some little plastic end cap pieces that fit on the rails, just so those aren't open and sharp. These are end clamps. You can see they're sort of only clamping on one side. Then these are mid clamps. So these go between the solar panels, so that's nice. It looks like they give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mid clamps. That's enough for 4 panels, and then they give you 4 end clamps, which is typically all you would need anyway. So I've got a little bit of hardware here left over. I'm not sure why they just sent extra of these, I guess, but definitely not missing anything. Now they did send a little Allen wrench here, which will be handy if you don't have one handy already. When you're putting the panel clamps on, they do give you a little wrench in this little 3-way kind of socket, manual socket wrench, but I really didn't end up using that at all during installation. I just used my own tools. All right, let's get this thing outside and put some panels on it. All right, I have got a small assortment of panels on here. These are the 460-watt Blue Sun bifacials. These are the same panels I have on my large array up here, my 30-panel rack. And I'm going to use these because I can put these together in parallel and over panel most of the power stations that I test, at least the ones that cap out at 50 or 60 volts. And that'll be handy. So as you can see, 2 460-watt panels side by side fit. That left me with about 31 inches to play with here. And this is a Renogy Shadow Flux 200-watt panel, and it is 30 inches wide. So you can see I just made that fit. Now, these end clamps are actually designed, these are 25 millimeter end clamps, and they actually will accommodate up to about 30 millimeters. But if you have a larger or a thicker frame, if you have like a 35 millimeter frame on your panels, you will need to order different end brackets. The mid brackets will probably work because they don't have to come down and touch the rail, they clamp from underneath, and there's plenty of bolt length in there to handle that. But the end clamps are the ones that are super sensitive to the width of your frame on your solar panels. And so these I think are probably 25 millimeter, and yeah, so that these just fit. So anywhere from 25 to 30 millimeters, I think you're okay with the end clamps that come with it. But anything smaller or bigger than that, and you will want to order a different size. And those are fairly readily available on Amazon for relatively inexpensive. So really, for a couple hours of assembly and 140 bucks, if you don't count the extra 100 bucks I have in hardware and lumber here for the base, that is well, even if you do count that, that is a really solid deal, I think, for a small array. So I've got, like I said, I've got a total of, call it 900 watts, but 920 watts there just with those 2 panels. So yeah, you can get somewhere between 800 and maybe even up to 1,000 watts, depending on the module dimensions that you put on here. And that's actually a pretty good deal if you just want something to maybe power a fridge in an emergency power outage indefinitely, or you just, you want to tinker, this is a pretty good way to get started for cheap. So per usual, I'll put an Amazon link in the description below where you can find this if you're looking for something like this. So thanks for joining me. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you did, please consider clicking that like button. I'd very much appreciate that. And do hope you join me for the next one. Until then, have fun out there.